Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey cautioned markets against reading too much into how policymakers voted this month. He spoke with Bloomberg's Guy Johnson after officials decided to cut interest rates to a 19-month low.
You've used the words gradual and careful, so I'll try to sort of provide some explanation and hope it helps. The word gradual is not new. We've been using it for some time, and the reason for using that word is because we think that there is an underlying path of disinflation, and that's supporting us cutting rates. That disinflation is all about the sort of the erosion of the persistence of inflation that we had coming out of the very big, obviously, shocks that we had a few years ago. Now, we haven't changed our view on that. We think that we are seeing this path of disinflation, and that's why we've cut rates today. But we have to go on watching that carefully to see whether it will continue. So nothing changed on that front. Why have we introduced the word careful? There is an awful lot of uncertainty in the world around us, I'm afraid, at the moment. And I would just emphasize, as we've said today, that uncertainty is two-sided. It's on both sides. So let me just sort of draw that out. We've seen weak activity in the UK economy. The question is, to what extent is that a weakening of demand?
Yep.
To what extent is it a weakening of the supply capacity of the economy? And what mixture of the two is it? Because that's critical, because one of them leads to lower inflation and the other leads to higher inflation. It's very hard to read at the moment. So that's one of the critical things. And then we've got more uncertainty around us. We are going to get a pickup in inflation over the coming months. We don't think that will cause persistent effects, but we're going to have to watch it very carefully. And to finish, the world around us is a very uncertain place at the moment.
Okay, let's, from the starting point of gradual means once a quarter, what you are saying
we've never said that.
Okay, that has been the implication.
Right, the market has
inferred that.
Yes.
That is what that means. You've inserted careful. Does that mean that you have to wait? Just in terms of the timing around when rate cuts are going to come, do you need more information so that effectively the cuts are more backloaded because you need more information before you can make a decision on when?
The way I would interpret it is this. The sort of the set of things that we are going to have to judge every time we meet has just got more complicated, frankly.
Does that make it harder to make a decision to cut rates? Because as you say, it's symmetrical. You don't know whether it's going to be inflationary or deflationary.
It's going to give us a lot more to think about every time, and we're going to have to be careful in the way we do it. But it's meant to say, look, there is more uncertainty. Don't take from that a particular directional message, other than I still think the path is down.
Yep.
But the world is more uncertain.
Are you still trying to get to 100 basis points worth of cuts this year?
Well, I've never been trying to get to a number, actually. I mean, I'm trying to get inflation sustainably to target. That's my job.
Right.
Whatever path of interest rates does it will be the one.
Can you understand why the vote split looks dovish?
I can, but I would always caution you not to put much emphasis.
So it's not a communication tool?
It's not a communication tool. And the reason it's not a communication, we do not sit down and say, what do we want the vote split to be this time? Each member votes their own position. I don't know going in what the vote's going to be in that sense. The reason, and I always say, there's no groupthink on the MPC. People vote their own position. And I would encourage the market to read the minutes pretty carefully this time, because you will see a series of positions set out in the voting. There are those of us who voted for the cut, some of whom put emphasis on uncertainty and the word careful, some of whom wanted it to be a bit more directional and wanted the word cautious instead of careful, but we chose careful in the end. And then you've got the two members who voted for a larger cut, and if you read the paragraph that comes over, they're probably in different places themselves, so don't put too much weight on the voting.
That's Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey speaking with Bloomberg's Guy Johnson.